She doesn't even go here!
I'm bi, actually.
Excuse me. Could the ugly, untalented gays please report to the principal's office?
Hi, I'm Kurt Homo, and I'll be auditioning for the role of kicker.
Hello! Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Not So Straight Nerds. I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm your host, Alicia.
And today, we are talking the second week of Love Island USA Season 8.
Yay.
Woo!
I guess. I mean, it has been a little dramatic, and, yeah. I don't know. I will say, I feel like 2 of the episodes have been kind of boring overall, but at least they've been cute. Like, the first episode back, episode 6, and then I believe episode 8 were mostly filled with just, like, conversations between the main couples, which is fine.
Sure.
It would have been nice if maybe they could, like, balance that a little bit more. I don't know.
No, I will say personally, I'm trying to even, like, figure out where the cutoff point to the last episodes were. Because when we stopped, it was right before the bombshells came in, right?
Yes. Right before the bed challenge thing, the
Okay.
blindfold, whatever.
Okay. Before we get too deep into conversation, we do have an episode 1 for the
Yeah.
week 1 of Love Island. That's currently out. You can watch that right now. We are going to be talking spoilers of Love Island this season through episode 9.
Yes.
Which is as far as has been released as of the time we are filming this. So, you've been warned. But I think we just jump right in.
I agree. You know, I think there are things to talk about. I don't think this is going to be near as long as the first one, but that's okay. There's still definitely things to shout out and mention, especially the promo for episode 10 just came out earlier today. So, yeah, we'll talk about that eventually, too. Let's start with, however, episode 6, the bed, blindfold, paint, whatever challenge, whatever you call it.
Yes.
There was a lot going on. First of all, I think this is actually really fun. I feel like, you know, some people are complaining that some of the challenges are just gross or raunchy and not actually to, like, get to know your partner. I felt like actually this was, like, kind of a cute way to explore how well you have chemistry with your people. Yeah. I almost kind of wish, I know it would have taken longer, but I almost kind of wish the guys could have done it back to them. Because, again, I feel like the girls do better at challenges like this because they actually, like, care and pay attention. And I would wonder how many boys would as well. And I think they should have covered their hair with, like a
I think they should have
shower
done
cap
more
or
to
something.
actually cover
Hide
up
it,
and make it
yes.
more like, okay, you have to actually
Yeah.
rely on how well you know the person.
Yeah. I think we were both saying, you know, it'd actually be, like, somewhat easy if you just remember to, like, touch the hair. Which some of them did. But you know what? They all found their man eventually. So, it worked out for them.
And also on that challenge. Okay, first off, love the challenge.
I agree.
I
Yeah.
understand. Okay, I think the games that you're trying to give here, as someone who's never watched another season before,
Yeah.
I feel like you want it to be drama. But
Yeah.
I think give room for, like, it's a test.
Yeah.
And you're trying to see, it's fun, it's flirty, it can be freaky. But there's also an element of test here, clearly, because some people fail.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's so fun. The big white bed, the paint, so fun,
Yeah,
very
and they all
messy.
had different colors. I thought was clever.
The bringing in the bombshells, I think, is so fun.
I had no idea how that was going to work, and when I found out they were going to have 2 at the same time, I was gagged. That was a great choice. And honestly, I was a little worried that they'd be like they would figure it out, but they didn't. I mean, a couple of them had mentioned they had heard things, but in their mind, it had probably just been whoever was going. So I think that was actually pretty genius. So,
But I'm going to say this, missed opportunity to not have the new male bombshell be on that bed. And I think really
agree.
throw in a randomness to it.
I agree. Because I think the girls would have been like, what the fuck?
Who is this?
Yeah. So I think that could have been fun. Or I don't know. I don't know how they would have done it, but I think there were a couple ways they could have done it and it would have worked. So I agree. I think we were both a little disappointed that they didn't include the male in the actual challenge. I mean, obviously they kiss afterwards, which is a topic for discussion.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk. I do want to talk the situations that cause different reactions between the girls and the guys. Because I also saw people on the internet talking about it. So I do think it's a relevant topic of discussion. So the girls in the last challenge got to kiss Corbin.
Yes.
Now, it was in private, which I think makes it less awkward, I guess. For the guys, it's not like they're having to watch. But, and then the girls are keeping a secret. And then the guys, kind of the same thing. The girls don't have to watch, and the guys keep it a secret. Not as long, obviously. And then some of the girls, they do realize, like, oh my god, they were right next to me. So it's a little less private. It's just, I think, in the moment unknown, which is, it adds an interesting layer. I think, I don't know. I think both are a little fun for challenges. I don't find a problem with it. Obviously, the girls were really mad. I don't know. I will say, I feel like I could see where they were coming from, but then they got to kiss Caleb, and I was like, I feel like y'all are even now. If there was any, I've thought about that, and I'm like, you know what? I think y'all are even now.
Well, because
I don't know.
the thing is, you can't judge someone for playing the game that everyone is playing.
Yeah.
So there's certainly things within the game that you can judge, like how they play it.
Yeah.
But end of the day, it's not like there's a reasonable world where they're like, no, don't kiss me, new bombshell on the bed.
Yeah.
That ruins
That'd be dumb.
everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
Even like Anaya, people were complaining that she didn't explore during the challenge. She still kissed the bombshell, so I think, you know what, she's doing what she's comfortable with, and I think that's fine.
yeah, I think it shows. Let's talk Casey and Anaya. I think a great example. Let's break this down.
Yes.
So, blindfolds off. Anaya's like, who was red? Everyone's like, who was
Melanie,
red?
yeah. Melanie clocked it first, which I actually think was kind of funny. But Casey has, I would say, objectively the most red paint on him, or it's at
It's
least
up there.
the most spread out, which is interesting until this promo, because I was like, neither of them showed interest in him, so that's interesting. Until this promo, Soul does have a conversation with Casey, so maybe we'll start to see more of that.
But also before that, even when Ariana asked everyone how they enjoyed the challenge, Casey be not reading the room.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a whatever answer for maybe any other guy whose girl did go down the line and like end up kissing everyone. I would say Bryce is probably in a similar boat where he couldn't respond like that.
I don't think so.
But Anaya saving her kiss specifically for Casey on the bed, you got to read the room and be like, okay, she's wanting to try and be keep what we have like pretty secure even in the games. I can respect that.
Yes. And if you don't agree with that, then that needs to be a conversation. But that needs to be a conversation that happens before you make any comments like that. That was just wow. Beatrice immediately was like, dude, what the hell did you say? Don't say that. Everyone hated that. No, I agree. I think a lot of the women would have been mad, but I think like Corbin could have said it, and regardless of whether Kendi was mad, I think it would have been funny because they're not super.
Well, I think specifically, the thing that makes it messed up is Anaya was putting in the effort to not be with other people.
Yeah. And I know some people are like, oh, he was just saying he was blessed because he had the only girl. No. I don't. First of all, he did not mean it that way. Let's be real with ourselves. And second of all, even if he did, which he didn't mean it that way, it's still horrible timing. And again, read the room. So I'm like, let's not play that game.
Yeah.
It's giving. Funny enough, Casey is like, Melanie, nah, I know, no, you know I love you, girl, but he was playing. Let's speak of Melanie.
Oh, Melanie. Whew.
Listen,
Last we talked about Melanie, she was in a precarious
Rough
situation. I
place.
don't remember exactly where we were, but needless to say, girl has crossed many a lines.
yeah, listen, in challenges, I think you can get away with more. Again, I've thought about this. For me, I think my problem with how she handled that situation, because it was messy, but again, I think in challenges, you're allowed to be a little bit more messy, but you own up to it. You don't
There's room
flat out
for
deny
mess.
it. Yes.
But there's certainly still going too far. Look at Casey.
Yeah.
He enjoyed the game,
Mhm.
but then he took
Went
it too
too
far.
far.
This is
exactly.
basically, I think, the female equivalent of that, actually.
I would say so.
But I would say there's a lot more intent in
Yeah.
Melanie's.
Well, I think it's more calculated. I think Casey just genuinely said the wrong thing and messed up, and then made up for that and had a conversation. It was better after that. Melanie, she did something that was messy, whatever, entertaining drama, whatever. But then she goes around and just completely denies it and says, well, I had no idea. I genuinely had no idea. And it's like, no, you know you're on camera, right? Like, let's be for real. Your man has the most standout-ish hair or whatever. I don't know how to say that. It's like, let's stop lying to ourselves. It's okay if in a challenge you take that opportunity to be a little messy and kiss Corbin because you've been wanting to do that. But, like, own up to it. And especially
And maybe
with,
don't straddle your current couple while you're doing it. Mayhaps.
it's very like I don't know. It's very like she doesn't know how to handle it.
And
doesn't know
it's-
how to balance things that she does.
And beyond that, she already has like played the woe is me card like twice to this point. And then pulls a move like this.
Yeah.
And it's like you cannot have both.
No. You can't like explore yourself and then say you're the only guy for me. You're not allowed to explore. You also can't say go explore and then get mad at him every time he does. Now, we'll get to Sincere. He's also playing in her face.
Sure.
But I think in that moment that's what I'm thinking of is you just can't have both. You've got to be it's okay to not want to explore, but then tell him that. And he might not agree to that, but at least you got your truth out. But let's stop lying and say we want to explore and then get mad every time it happens. We can't be doing that.
Also in the game, I want to shout out Trinity.
Yes.
Such a real one. And frankly, no notes.
Yeah.
Anaya, totally within your right. If you don't want to do it, find your man, mac
Yeah.
up on him.
Yeah.
Trinity, no notes. What a great way to have your fun, but then also show your commitment by finding your guy, knowing and calling it there.
Yeah, I agree. Also, the only other thing I can really think of with the game is Kata and Zach. My girl Kata was, I think, genuinely lost.
Oh, I believe that.
And not Sean. I'm still doing it. He's not even here, and I'm
Zach.
still doing it. Zach. I actually think I have a lot to say about you, but let's start with the challenge. I don't think you have literally any 1% right to get mad at that. Like, you're stupid and sensitive. I actually can't believe he got mad at her for that. Like, genuinely irked. I have more things to say on him, so this just kind of makes it worse for him. But anyways.
Sure. And we're talking about her getting lost or the kiss afterward with Caleb.
Well, to me, he was mad because, at first, because he was getting frustrated that she was taking so long to find him. So then I think her kissing Caleb and wrapping her legs around him just one, I think gave him a different excuse to use. I think he looked visibly irritated already. And then two, maybe validated that and enlarged that frustration a little bit into an actual conversation they had to have. Again, I think it's a challenge. If you thought she did too much, fine. then tell her that. But let's not be dramatic. Again, it's a challenge. Everyone was kissing the bombshell. She's like one of the most loyal people here. So let's calm down. Okay?
Right, because in that conversation, because I do think they're going to be with each other for a while.
I think so.
And
Tell maybe Casa.
We'll
I think
see about
Casa's going to
Casa.
break up a lot of people.
But they were so strong before this challenge, and like you hear her talking about him, like, whenever we get out of here, we're gonna live our best lives. And it's so frustrating to see them not kind of verbalizing that to each other. Like, they don't get the other's perspective that we get.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, and I understand where you're coming from, but now you both are kind of looking for other people because you think the other person is as well. And that's like...
This is such bad communication. Again, Bryce, your conversation with Trinity about let's not worry about us too much. Everyone else has problems. Or let's not compare ourselves to other people because they have a lot of problems. Like, it just continues to ring true. Like, absolutely. Anyway, I think that's all with the challenge.
I would believe so.
Nothing else crazy dramatic happened. Caleb grew on me more pretty quickly. I think his intro was scary. It scared me. But then I was like, okay, cute country boy, sure. You're giving frat boys, so like not my type whatsoever. But you do you. You're no longer scaring me. I just am not that I would date you, but I like wouldn't if
Sure,
that was
sure,
an opportunity.
sure.
Yeah. Anyways. It is what it is. Let's talk about the other bombshells though.
We have Soul and we have Jen.
There's like nothing to say about Jen. She's really pretty. I love that she loves Taylor Swift and is unapologetic for it. But girl, you're boring.
I really wonder why she's being dropped here. Like, is she supposed to be catering to someone's type? Because certainly, from what it appears, no one's catering to her type, which I feel like is kind of an oversight on the planning committee here. Like, what do you mean she comes in and is like, I mean, yeah, I guess I talked and had a kiss with Gabriel, but like, I'm just here to hang, I guess.
And then we're forced to vote her with someone. Crazy. You people didn't see the long run with her and Corbin, and I blame you for that. I blame you, America. No, everyone voted for her and Caleb. Or no, Gabriel. Anyways, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Anyways, I saw the long game with her and Corbin, even though she didn't have a conversation with anybody else.
Not that we saw.
Not that we saw. Soul, we'll have more to say about her a little bit later, but I think she's really pretty. She seemed more like what a bombshell is supposed to be. She's doing her job. I don't blame her for that. And you know what? Sincere heavily pursued her as well. So I think they have very mutual interest. I wish Sincere was more sincere about it all. She's doing her part, and I don't think she's doing anything wrong. I don't think she has owed anyone a conversation at this point. And I don't like how she's being treated in the villa.
Indeed.
She's being treated like a villain, and she's like, you guys realize bombshells can do much worse than this, right? She's actually trying to, first of all, she's not even trying to break up a couple. She's just liking someone who's liking her back. But also, if she were to be breaking up a couple, she's breaking up a clearly very unhealthy, toxic one.
Mm-hmm.
So sue me, but I don't care.
I feel like at this point in the game, everyone is in such like a scared of upsetting their partner mode. And there's an element of that I think is reasonable.
Sure.
But I think we are far, far away from that line.
Yeah, like the promo for next episode has her talking with KC, which, God, the internet's going to get worse about that. Because him and Anaya are like this. So, but I'm like, from what we saw, which we know that it's not, we shouldn't take it at face value before we actually see it.
For sure.
But from what we saw, it seemed like just a conversation. So unless they end up kissing, Anaya, like, we've gotta
Calm down.
calm down a little bit, baddie. I don't know. She's so hard to gauge. I like love her, and she's the best sometimes. And then I'm like, what are you doing? Like, how in one of the episodes she was just kind of out of from nowhere to Melanie and Sincere. Y'all are so toxic. All y'all do is argue, blah, 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 blah. Finally saying something valid and true about them, and I'm like, where did this come from? But also, yes, thank you.
After feeding, basically with her saying that, contradicting everything she's ever told to Melanie prior to this.
Yes, I'm like...
Melanie and
I'm
Sincere,
so-
actually. She's consoled both of them about the other.
I'm like, Anaya, you confuse me. I don't know what to do with
fear
that.
it's giving people pleaser and
Yeah.
like peacekeeper, but I think there's a lot of problems involved with being
Yes,
those things in
I
any
agree.
scenario,
Mhm.
but certainly on Love Island.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. It's okay to be upset, but I don't know. Again, it's not in context, but I'm like, if it is just a conversation, and she is not the only one to freak out from a conversation.
No.
Certainly. It's like, guys, why are we being all collectively so dramatic about a simple conversation? This is Love Island. Let's calm down now.
I fear, and we'll circle back to her, but with Bea leaving the island, we have lost the only reasonable one.
No, I'm like, Kata, we need you to step up, baddie, because there's like no one else that could take her place. And I don't think you can either, but like, we need somebody to step up.
We need someone to
please.
try.
We like, I don't know. We shall see. But I feel like Kata's a very like, unless you attack me, I don't care kind of person.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm like,
It's not
I
my
don't know.
business till you make it my business.
Yes, and Bea was like, if you're being messy to the group, now it's my business, and I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Because if someone's gonna treat anyone horrible on the island, they'll treat everyone horrible on the island.
Mm-hmm.
And let's clock that.
Yeah. I don't know. What's next? Do we go to the pies? I feel like
We can jump to pies. We can jump
yeah,
around.
because we had the little cute conversation after the recoupling. Everyone was sweet, and then the bed thing, and then I guess we could talk about Soul and Sincere a little bit more.
Surely.
Let's talk about the Sincere side of that, because I think Soul's doing nothing wrong.
No.
She's doing her role. Let's talk about Sincere. Listen, at first, I was like, I get it. You're probably scared of her because of how she reacted to Less Than This after he kissed her. I get it. And then when confronted with a question that you can't avoid, you tell the truth. Sure, cool. If it was with anyone else but Melanie, I'd be like, you're being messy. But I didn't care at the time. I will say it became that. I think probably with the second kiss, it should have become that. But then I was just so distracted with the fact that Melanie almost caught them that I didn't really think about it. And then the third kiss happens.
Well, because then in that conversation, right after the second kiss, he says,
Yeah.
I'm interested in you. And we're exploring, we're chatting, but I'm pursuing you. And basically, if doesn't say it, heavily implies
Yeah.
that he's not going to be pursuing Soul anymore.
Yeah.
Cut
I
to the
agree.
next day where they're talking for like over an hour and they kiss again. And it's
Okay,
like,
now, like, objectively, you're in the wrong. Like, maybe you were messy before. Now you are, like, doing something wrong.
and I will say the problem isn't the talking. Because
No.
between Sincere and Soul, let me tell ya, ain't no other couple this, like, able to delve into conversation this well.
Yeah, I agree. They have such a interesting chemistry, like, conversation-wise and, like, kissing-wise, that I feel like we haven't seen on this show. I guess kissing-wise, Gabriel and Beatrice were definitely, like,
They match each other's
even
energies.
though I was a little icked out by all the tongue, but certainly there was something there.
But certainly at least by after that second one, it's like, cool. The physical, it's here.
Yeah.
And because I've already told my current couple that I would respect that,
Mm-hmm.
where we currently are, like, you don't have to keep kissing them to know that that's going to work if you wanted to choose Soul later.
Yeah. Let's just have conversations with her. And if we're telling Melanie we want to pursue her and we are pursuing her, then let's actually do that. Let's have conversations with her too. Let's have kisses with her too. You don't have to do that, but you said you would, and then you didn't. At least not from what we saw. So it's like, now you're a liar. Like, straight up liar. So, Sincere, I'm interested to see how you move now that you are officially coupled up with Soul. I don't know. Honestly, I kind of hope Melanie does just cut him off. I don't think she will. But, like, I think
won't. She's too stubborn and, like, trying to think of a nice way to put this, but aggressively attached.
Like, codependent almost.
Kind of. Like, you're acting like the bond that you have is way stronger than it is for some reason.
Yeah.
When you've not known this person, like, a little more than a week.
Yeah. It is very interesting. I don't know, but then she's sleeping alone in soul ties in the promo. Corbin's talking about Kenzie again. They're cuddling again, which is crazy. Kenzie, girl, what are you doing? So I don't know. It's messy. She should, and I think she has every right to cut him off. I don't think she will.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
But,
I don't know.
speaking of Melanie, say what? You know what? Sincere feels something with Soul.
Mm-hmm.
He feels like he's in a weird place with Melanie. I can't blame him.
Yeah.
She goes off the rails any chance she kind of is
Like,
not even given fines.
Well, even this next episode, I'm like, girl, sleeping in soul ties. I mean, again, we don't have the full context, but I'm like, this seems a little much.
But, and maybe others join, but it's the alone for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like you got enough girlies here
Mm-hmm.
that, like, if something happens and you truly are, like, the victim of some situation, you ain't alone out there.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm only seeing you alone out there.
Yeah.
Don't have the full context, but I'm very curious
Yeah.
how that situation that I'm imagining becomes untrue.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird behavior.
But constantly having those conversations with Sincere, him jumping around the fact that he does or does not want to keep exploring with Soul, but you have eyes, and she's constantly being like, well, if he doesn't want to pursue me, I'm just going to go talk to somebody else and explore that. It's like, yes, that's what you're here to do.
Yeah, good job.
But then when you do it, you pull a chat with Corbin, you bring him out there, he asks to kiss you, and you say something along the lines of, thank you for expressing that. I don't want to do that right now. I need to check with my girl, Kenzie, before we do anything like that. And you know what? That's a fair
Respect.
sentiment.
I was surprised. I was like, okay. Now, I kind of
You
also
see, I'm not
clocked-
surprised because this is her, how I perceive this, this is her trying to be like, hey, Sincere, this is how you should be acting because I know the right way to do things.
No, that's
and
what
let
I
me
was
check-
saying. I like immediately clocked what she was doing with that. I was like, oh, but then I thought, no, she's gonna, I don't know. Maybe I had an inkling that she was gonna do something bad, and then the fact that she was waiting all day, I was like, this is calculated. And I thought in the moment that it was gonna be, you know, her way of breaking Kenzie and Corbin up. I think it was more so a way, like what you said. But yeah, I was like, this is not truly as nice as she's wanting it to seem right now.
Well, and even what she says, let me talk to Kenzie first, and then we can come back to this, and then doesn't talk to Kenzie all day. Literally, it's almost nighttime before Kenzie hears from other people and pulls her, and then she still tries to act like, oh, did he tell you? And it's like, no, actually, you said you were going to take the responsibility and have that conversation.
Yeah.
And yes, Corbin should also talk to her about that.
Yeah.
But you basically called dibs on having that conversation with her first,
Yeah.
and then didn't have that.
Yeah.
That is calculated, that is controlling, and that is super unfair to both Corbin and Kenzie.
Yeah. No, I agree. And then she has brought it up like probably 5 times at least now. Oh, but I could have kissed Corbin and I didn't. To so many different people. I'm like, and that's how I know that you did that for a calculated reason.
Yeah.
You keep bringing it up. If it wasn't calculated, then it speaks for itself. Bring it up maybe once, and that's it. You don't have to bring it up to the whole villa. Bring it up to Sincere, and that's
this
it.
coming from the girl who's like, real girls don't have to say they're girls. Messy
Again.
people don't have to say they could have been messier.
Yeah.
Unmessy people. Whatever.
It's crazy. Anything else with her though? I feel like
We
a
covered
good-
a lot of it until
lot.
the very end, but we'll circle back to that, I'm sure.
Yes. Let's see. I want to talk about Zach. Zach. I need you out of this fucking villa. I hate your guts. You're like public enemy number 1 right now. I see what you're doing and I don't like it. And quite frankly, this is moving into like discrimination territory. And I'm glad other people are clocking that too. They're like, you need to watch yourself because we're eyeing you now. I'm also eyeing him. The way he just kind of out of nowhere is like, Bryce, I don't think Trinity likes you. You should go explore other people. Just like bashing on Trinity is weird behavior. Actually disgusting behavior. If I ever knew him, I would not want to know him anymore. Like, I would, like, if I were Kada and I found out that happened, like, I hope that gets aired out on, like, movie night or something. I need that to get aired out. The way that he was talking about her while she was talking about Bryce, I need that parallel in my soul. Or I need it to be talked about at the reunion, because a lot of them do rewatch, like, parts of the show after and before the reunion. Yeah, I'm gonna need somebody to bring it up at some point, because, and then him in the pie contest being picked as like most likely to talk good about you behind your back. Girls, if you only knew. That's why I'm like, production, please, like, you're being messy this season, please follow up on this, because I need him to not get away with this nasty behavior. I am so side-eyeing you now. I need you out of this villa. Gross behavior. So the only reason that I'm not entirely mad at Bryce for then pulling Kada is because I almost, like, obviously it wasn't a threat to anybody, Kada or Zach, but I almost wish it was, because I think he deserves that. The gag of him talking trash about Trinity and saying you need to explore with someone else all day, just for him to turn around and talk to your couple. I wish that hit harder. I mean, I'm not surprised it is. Like, it was ridiculous to the point where everyone's now like, past Islanders have confirmed that production has interfered in their choices, told them to couple up or break up with certain people or do certain things, have conversations, kiss somebody. They're like, is that another scenario here? Because this is ridiculous if not. That's how crazy it is. And I wish it wasn't that crazy, just so it would have been a little mean to Zach. I wish it worked better.
It's very bizarre. And I will say, I think everything around Bryce talking to Kada is kind of incredibly over dramatic on basically everyone's counts. Whatever. He originally stepped on red, had that night with Kada. She chose Zach. I can understand what he's saying in that the whole purpose of this is to explore your other connections. The only other connection I'm like hinting anything towards is this one. And I just want to make sure that chapter is closed before I commit to this one.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, I would say, like, I would think in that setting, if your person is saying there's only one person that I want to have a chat with, and And especially in context, if it's someone who already chose someone else over him and has
hella
stayed with that
rejected him,
person,
yeah.
then it's like,
I think Trinity was mad about it, and I do think she has a right to be maybe a little bit mad because I think it's just a dumb situation, but I wouldn't have felt threatened by it. I don't really know. I mean, she's young. Maybe she's insecure about, but like, you gotta, it's Kata. Like, there's nothing to have there.
and also something I don't see being said around, like, nothing, Trinity has not done anything wrong, but she's pulled, I think she pulled Casey before.
And Corbin.
And
She's
Corbin.
at least pulled Corbin.
She's pulled people before, and Bryce hasn't. This is, like, the first person he's pulled, like, since, like, I think her, Stand on Red, and then they just keep talking all the time.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know. Like, I understand wanting that foundation to grow, but he's also, like, I think doing a lot of effort to try and be like, hey, I love where we're at. I think we're growing really well. I want to see what this is, but right now it's nothing compared to what we are, even if it is something.
Yeah.
I think that his age does, I think, show on this show, and I think everyone else's also shows on this show, which I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think feel your feels, but feel them responsibly. And then Zach, dude, if someone asks you for your opinion or your advice, it's fair game. Until then, shut the fuck up. Dude, shut up.
Everyone, that's what I'm saying. It's not just Anaya. It's not like it's everyone is taking conversations too seriously, and it's irking me. They're taking it as a breakup, and I'm like, that's not how it works. In real life, yeah. If you were dating someone and they just like were chatting with these women, then yeah, that's weird. But that's not what this is. This is a dating show. This is like the whole point. It's boring when they don't have conversations or explore whatsoever outside of their couples. That's why you're on this show, is to find love and be entertaining. And you gotta do something to be entertaining. So, yeah.
Never. They have the meeting. Kata's like, I think we're great friends. And he's like, cool. And
whatever.
Please. I
Let that
never
be
want
the
to hear
end.
about this again.
Yes, me too.
This is such a nothing thing. Frankly, I think it's insane that on Love Island they've spent like I think it's insane they spent 10 minutes on this, but this is like been milked for like 25 minutes out of an episode. And I'm like, guys, this is not drama. This is nothing.
Yeah.
This is nothing. Let's treat it like nothing.
The miscommunication between them that episode was so annoying. And I do blame Zach, but also like Bryce. I get right now we're letting our insecurities get the best of us, but like please do better.
But it's not even insecure. He had attraction to Kata.
Yeah.
See if on any level that is, whatever. Get rejected. That's your prerogative.
Yeah.
I think regardless. Whatever. Who we talking next?
I guess we can move on. We could probably finish with the pie stuff. Let's talk about the pie game.
Pie.
You know, it was giving they had to pick a different person each time, and I think that's boring because just like if you want it to be more of a variety, pick questions that aren't so obviously one person.
Well, I think you also have to remember that we are seeing even though we aren't seeing these people nearly as much as the people on the island, we're still seeing a lot more of them than the people on the island, if that makes sense. Like, we're seeing the things they say about other people behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So no one on this island has the full picture.
Yeah, like the Zach thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, if you knew, you would not pie him for that. I don't know. I didn't really have a problem with, some people were complaining that it was boring that they sent the person in the couple to kiss their answer or whatever. I don't have a problem with that. I feel like this wasn't a challenge that pushed them to explore outside of that. B did that and looked at all the stupid drama that caused.
That's the thing, guys. You're all being so boring. Soul and Jen come in here and they're having a horrible time because y'all are boring.
Yes.
Have conversations. That's what you do when you're around people on vacation.
On a dating show. It's crazy. Ugh. Anyways, yeah.
It's insane. And frankly, it's insane that Gabrielle took Bea's, like, he's a gentleman, he's kind, and he's easy on the eyes. And he's like, I didn't realize that you were, like, in love with him or something, and I feel like it's crazy you didn't tell me
and
that.
You hate me. I'm like, okay, let's not be dramatic.
Dude.
Again, everyone's being so annoying. That's why nobody wants to explore on the show, because you're all so freaking sensitive. Every time they, like, look at somebody else, it's crazy. Like, you're on a dating show. Ugh. Anyways, I need a bombshell to come in and, like, bombshell. I need someone, like, honestly, to be the villain and, like, break people up, because it's getting too boring.
Yeah. And let's say purposefully break people up.
And you know what? I need someone to come in and steal Anaya. That's what I want. I think, actually, that would be so tea. Ugh. Anyways.
Pie competition. Yeah, I think if they had some kind of, like, spinner or something to decide who had to do it, I think that could make things a little more interesting. Ultimately, I think the game as is kind of like, okay, this pads the runtime.
Yeah, and then them pieing Soul twice was, I'm like, guys, what are we doing here?
Well, but also, at the very end, we see Trinity covered in pie.
Yeah.
But never on air did we see that happen. So there's no telling how many questions there were that just were not interesting enough to air.
Yeah, and again, Jen did not participate, basically. Why is she here? Why did we send Beatrice home and Jen's still here, Corbin's still here? What? Who said that? Anyways.
Yeah, very bizarre. Soul. I think Soul's here. She's doing her job. She's exploring the one connection that she feels. I think the pie that really broke the camel's back for her before she started getting upset about the whole situation. I think that it's just unfortunate that that's the question that broke the camel's back. I think the other question where it was like, who is... there was a previous question before who...
Yeah, because she got pied twice.
Yeah. And it was invalid because it was like, who's the messiest on the island? No, it was who's most likely to sleep with their friend's ex or something like that.
Like, you don't know her enough to pie her.
Yeah.
And then it took them way too long, the girls way too long to pie Sincere. You guys... And that's not like you don't know behind the scenes thing. You guys know. And that took you way too long to pie him in the face for some messy behavior he's had. So, crazy.
Indeed.
I don't know. I don't have a lot more to say. I feel like it wasn't... It's not a challenge that I think by the end we're going to
remember
be shouting out and remember. Yeah.
I think... But you know what else... I think Zach was also really icky. Whatever, that he was the one who tossed the pie that the guys voted on. But then after the fact to be like... It's the wording. It's the, of course she cries on the pie I threw, instead of,
I'm telling you,
I'm upset that she's upset. I don't want her to be upset, rather
Dude.
than it's...
I think Casey was actually really sweet in how he handled it. He's like, I know you don't want to talk to anyone right now, but I want to talk to you later if that's okay. She said, yeah. I thought that's actually really sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I'm glad I feel like online I'm not seeing anyone call her dramatic, because I also really appreciate Gabriel pointing out, I think, the real reason she's crying, not necessarily the question, but just the entire experience. And that was just, like you said, the head of it all.
Like, if it wasn't, because I think everyone is just so on eggshells around Melanie.
Yeah.
That they can't, like, when their girls are all in a setting, they feel like they can't even talk to Soul about anything.
Yeah.
And if I'd be curious how that would look if it was any other girls couple.
Yeah.
but I have to believe there's been healthier examples than this. Trinity came in and was like, let me give you guys the tour.
Mm-hmm. That was so sweet.
But
Yeah.
and then the guys, I think, not like, I don't know. You have to feel very unincluded for that reaction. And like, there's plenty of group activity. Like, people are doing yoga, and like, we see like an hour of an 8 to 9 hour day.
Yeah.
Like,
What's happening there? Yeah. I don't know.
it's bizarre.
But I'm glad that that's, that she's still exploring despite all that. And, if she's saying, okay, if this is how it's going to be, then I'm going to continue doing my thing, and respect. Let's talk bombshell vote recoupling mess. First of all, 2 out of the 3 were no surprise. Caleb and Kinsey, 0 surprise there. Soul and Sincere, who the hell else were they going to go to, Yeah. And I actually also don't really think it was all that surprising that Jen went to Gabriel, although they sure were surprised. Literally everyone there was like, what? So I feel like there's something we're missing there. I'm guessing that's the only conversation they ever had then. If that's the kind of reaction, I'm like, whoa. But then who else did you ever, like...
It's so weird that we see so little of Jen.
Yes.
And like, we don't get the validation that she isn't having conversations, because we don't see her doing anything or even talking about things.
Yeah. If the only conversation you've had was with Gabriel, then to me, I would be shocked why you're surprised. So then, are you having more conversations and they're not showing that? But then why would they do that? I don't know. Very weird that we get like nothing of her. So I also think it was such a cop-out to let Corbin then pick, because we all know who he was going to pick, because he had conversations with both, but he literally, like...
The one conversation we saw with Bea was talking about... Melanie.
Yeah. Like, 5 seconds in, he was like, man, I almost kissed Melanie. Like, kind of right off the bat, being like, not interested. So
yeah.
Awkward. Which sucks, because Bea's so pretty and awesome, but...
But let's talk about the bullshit about having these America's votes, sending someone off the island, and completely taking away anyone's initiative to make choices in their own relationships.
Yeah.
Guys, it's 2026. You can't trust America's votes.
Nope.
What the hell?
It's like we were talking about how it should be a little bit more balanced, like sometimes Dancing with the Stars is, or at least it used to be.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing. I think American votes have too much say. I think, like you said, in Dancing with the Stars, they should vote for the bottom 2 couples, and then the judges pick between them. Should be something like that here. Now, I think obviously the Americans should still have a choice. Like, it shouldn't be they shouldn't be able to reject the vote, because then there's no
then
point.
what's the point?
But I think you shouldn't send someone home
On the night that you're doing that.
Yes, or don't let Corbin pick. Because sometimes they let the group pick.
Yeah. And then really make people have to mix up who they're picking.
Yeah.
And like, even if they did a dumping from the island after everyone had to reshuffle around, then I think that's more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But
it wasn't even a true recoupling. It was just the bombshells. I don't know.
And you know what?
It's bizarre.
Beatrice, you're too good for this island. Frankly,
Very
so
true.
sorry that whatever you had with Gabrielle didn't meet its, like, end further on down the road.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you two were looking... Physically, you guys were matching each other, but I don't see a lot of... From our perspective, we weren't seeing a lot of growth as, like, people towards each other.
I feel like they had a strong connection, like, clearly with their goodbye. I think they had something very special that they could connect to each other's languages, more than, like, I mean, he can't. I feel like he's almost, like, really sad and upset that he's switching. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, because she really likes him.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel bad. But then, again, that's why you shouldn't dump someone. Because then... now you have 3 people upset. Nobody wants to be in this
You have
scenario
3
now.
people upset, and no one else got a choice to undo anything.
Yeah.
And it's their relationship, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
they can pursue this off the island, but now they're going to be doing that off the island, and you're taking away the drama of having it be people's choices who get sent home.
Yeah.
So it's very weird, because regardless, you'd have very different couples, more very different couples around. It's just very bizarre, and I think it's very lazy. Ugh, and we lost a baddie, but and the girls' reactions I thought was so sweet. It really takes until the end to see who all is really invested in these people. Like Kada and Beatrice, where was all that? Those girls adore each other apparently, and frankly, that makes so much sense because they're both so fierce. Why didn't I get to see more of that?
Yeah.
I'm here for the friends of Love Island.
I'm here for Friendship Island, which everyone
Yes,
online
that's what they call
shades,
it.
but like, who cares? It's fun.
With these couples, I don't know what I'd be looking for.
Well, anything else from the upcoming promo?
We see Soul talking to Casey.
Melanie's sleeping in soul ties.
Dude, that's what's crazy. And that's what's crazy. I cannot believe between Beatrice, who he like has talked to before, but like whatever if you don't feel that, and Melanie, dude, after everything Melanie has, like how she's held herself on this island very publicly and like very loudly, it's
like when she was trying to go up those steps to interrupt Sincere and everyone was like, no, like that speaks volumes to her behavior on the island, that everyone was like terrified.
like
That's bad.
it's one thing to like keep such an eggshell vibe on the island, but I just can't fathom wanting to be that close to that. Like,
That's
you've not been
stressful.
taking notes, because even if she can get over Sincere in a short amount of time, which is not going to happen, or else that would have happened already,
Yeah.
like, then you are going to get into even worse trouble than Sincere, because even with Kenzie, you talk to many more girls than we even see Sincere like be on camera with outside of challenges. It's so that's going to be even worse, but now it's going to be directed directly at you.
Yeah.
So
Good luck to you,
I
sir.
can't imagine making that choice.
I don't know.
I'd be like, "Hey, Bea, we'll arm wrestle,
Something.
and we'll talk goss."
Yeah, honestly.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It's a crazy choice that I know we're going to see him regret. I'm just so curious to see how it happens.
The only other thing I want to say is, this was not in the promo, but I need them to maybe try this, because they used to, like, most of the time when the bombshells came in, they'd have them like pull people for a date. Maybe not most of the time, but some of the times. So like they didn't really even get a choice. They picked like 2 people that they liked the most from the lineup or whatever, or from the clips they had watched, and pulled them for a date, and they had to go pretty much. I want to see some of that energy, some of
Yeah.
like forced separation,
Especially
and
with this
forced
group.
to like exploration.
Yeah, isolation and exploration.
Yes.
Because clearly you cannot do anything within eyesight on this island.
No. So, and I want people to like be pushed to explore, even if like, you know, like Anaya, like if you know what, if you want KC, that's fine, but I would like to see you go on a date at some point in life and explore outside of KC. Not that there's anything wrong with KC, but I feel like they're in like a safety bubble, both of them. So I don't know. I need some exploration.
Indeed.
Anyways. I guess that's it. I don't know. We'll
Oh,
have to
and
see
then
what happens next.
what opens up in this next
The
episode?
hideaway. Yes, thank you for
Hideaway.
reminding me that. Oh my gosh, someone's gonna get in the hideaway. That could be our prediction. What's our prediction? Who do you
Okay.
think is gonna get in there?
I think the top 3 most likely or / worthy contenders to go in there. I'm gonna 3 up. I'm gonna say Bryce and Trinity, And I think they actually would benefit the most from time away. I think
Yeah, I
just
think so.
them,
Mm-hmm.
no eyes on them, they can explore more physical touch without, being in such a more public place.
Mhm.
I think
And
a lot
obviously,
could
like,
benefit there.
Obviously, they don't have to do anything they don't want
Yeah.
to. I mean, they're not going to force everybody to do anything. But you're just in isolation so you can in private. But I think even just the privacy, like conversation-wise, would be nice for them. It's only the two of them. They have to like be together, which I think would cause a conversation that probably needs to happen. I agree. I think they would benefit the most from it. I totally love that description.
Then I think Zach and Kata are probably the next
Sure.
likely to get it.
Although Loki, they already had like their bed moment, so I'm like, I mean, Bryce was there, but let's be honest, like, he didn't really stop anything. So I'm like, oh, they kind of already got their moment, but they have been together a while, so maybe.
But I'm gonna be surprised if it doesn't go to Casey and Anaya.
I agree. I guess
I don't exactly know what the end result of that is going to be.
I don't know.
And frankly, I think that actually will probably open up the doors for it to potentially get even messier after the fact.
Maybe
It's either gonna do wonders for them and they're never gonna explore again, which I think is gonna be boring, or it's going to increase their bond and then someone's going to explore at some point, even just a
Oh,
little bit,
yeah.
and then the other is going to freak
Again,
out.
like Casa, I think is gonna ruin this island. It's gonna be, ugh. I think it's gonna be rough. So just to say something different, if you're guessing Anaya and Casey, I'll guess Trinity and Bryce.
Okay.
I think I would love either of those two to get the opportunity. Kata and Zach, I think would be boring, but I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think it would come from nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else, it would come from nowhere. That's crazy.
I mean, hell, half of them are strangers right now.
Yeah. So, no, absolutely not. Anyways.
Yeah, I think that concludes our thoughts.
Yeah. Nope.
Cool. Well, that is our thoughts on week 2 of Love Island USA season 8. Who are your favorite couples? Who are your least favorite couples? We'd love to hear in the comments below. And until next week when we cover week 3,
Yeah.
I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm your host, Alicia.
And thank you guys so much for watching Not So Straight Nerds.
Bye.